Grand evening, East Coast, West Coast, and everywhere in between. Welcome to MWR Financial Make Wealth Real University. I am Darrell R. Banks, two-star executive director and founding member of MWR Financial, and your host of this weekly corporate event, where you get to hear from the experts and invited professionals to give you the education you need to succeed to get on the other side of money. Please take these last few moments to get your members on the platform and your team so they can see and hear the true value of such an exclusive invitation-only wealth membership, where lifestyle and legacy connect. All guests, please get back to the person who invited you to this platform tonight. You're not going to want to miss this information. Be sure to grab yourself a pen and a pad to take copious notes on the information that's going to be delivered tonight, because you're going to understand how to be able to buy land without writing a check for it. And I tell you what, you want to buy land because, of course, we know God's not making any more of it. So go ahead and be sure that you grab your pen and pad. This information is unbelievable to understand that now is the time to become a landowner if you have never thought about it before, and we're going to show you how to do so. Listen, if you have not already registered, be sure to register for our Go Beyond Virtual Leadership Conference at makewealthrealevents.com, makewealthrealevents.com. If you've already purchased your ticket, it actually includes both functions, which is our MWR 2024 Atlanta, Georgia Ignite event on 11/4. So be sure to go ahead and get yourself involved in both of these two outstanding events that are coming up very, very soon. Be sure to register at makewealthrealevents.com. Get registered for that event, guys. We're looking forward to a phenomenal time online sharing this information with you all. So once again, welcome. Let's see who else we have out there in the city and states that have joined us from across the country. We got Columbia, South Carolina. Welcome to the platform. Georgia in the house. Welcome to the platform. We got a lot of new people who have joined this amazing opportunity. Welcome, Fairfield, California. Welcome. Fort Stewart, Georgia, welcome to the platform. Somerville, South Carolina, welcome to the platform. Greetings from El Paso, Texas, welcome to the platform. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, welcome to the platform. Newton, North Carolina, welcome to the platform. Guys, we got people chiming in from all over the country. Continue to keep on chiming in, but let's go ahead on and get to the man at the time now. This gentleman you're going to want to hear from. Now, he brings more than a decade of success in the financial services space. He has become a licensed financial consultant and expert in the area of investments and the lead consultant of our MWR Multiply Cash Flow Division. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the live Mr. Cord Burner. Mr. Burner.
Mr. Darrell, can you hear me?
Man, one thing I say is that we can do this business from anywhere. We appreciate you. We can see you. You're looking great, and the live is yours.
Thank you much, Mr. Banks. As always, the most generous introduction. As you guys can see, I'm not where I intended to be. Right, I'm in the car. What's the saying? Man makes plans and God laughs. That's kind of a little bit of what's been going on today. But I know that land banking, not only is it one of my favorite topics, but it's something to where the world could get in my way and it didn't matter, right? I was going to tear through it just, so that I could share some of this information with you today. I truly believe that not only is it life-changing, but it's personally changed my own family's life. I've seen it enhance and change the lives of many of the MWR members that have taken advantage of land banking. So for some of you guys, what this, you've heard this concept of land banking. For others, this is going to be a new concept to you. And what I find that's interesting is that land banking, it's referred to as an alternative investment. And I have to think about truly who is it alternative to? And what does alternative mean? Alternative means to go against the norm. How did we get to a time to where money invested in the market was more normal than buying up an asset that was here long before us as people? Wealth, land banking has been fought and died for and purchased, right? We've seen a lot of things happen to acquire land over the years. And just like Mr. Banks said, the best, God's not making any more of it. Now we're going to talk about how to do it the right way, because you can land bank in the wrong way, right? You can buy land in Nowheresville, USA, but with the experts in the team, our research and development team that goes out, acquires the parcels and brings that to market, guys, they have, the way that they look at things is so amazing, right? I get to, this coming Thursday, I'm going to be flying into the area. I'm going to go and look at many parcels. So you guys that have parcels, just know I'm going to be taking pictures. We'll post it. We'll send it to you as well. That way you guys can see the area and the progress. It's been, 12 to 24 months since I last was there. And I'm going to go land, look at my own parcel. I'll put some sand in there. And anyways, I can't wait to show you guys what's been happening in this area. So as we talk about land banking as a whole, and we bring up the slides here, land banking is, you can see that I want to talk about, what Mr. Will Rogers says, because I love this quote: don't wait to buy land and wait. You don't want to buy land in an area that's already developed. I mean, you may make some money, but that's not where you make the lion's share of opportunity. And I know you guys are smart investors. When you're going to make money in anything, what do? You buy low and then you sell high. You don't want to buy something when it's at an all-time high, because you run the risk of a cyclical market. Real estate, cyclical. Money in the market, right? Cyclical. There's a lot of cycles that go in and out. And when you think about real estate, they'll do two things. They'll take us in recessions, and they'll also take us out of recessions. And land banking is not immune to the laws of economics, by the way, but it tends to weather the storms much more effectively than traditional real estate. So as we look through, as we get to the definition of land banking, it's very simple. It's buying land before it's needed for development, holding it for about 7 to 10 years, and selling it for more than you bought it for. Have you guys ever been in an area? So I'm going to talk, specifically about my childhood. So I grew up in a very southern part of Utah, right? So my family, my grandfather, he's a farmer by nature, spent a lot of time on the farms. In fact, I love dirt bikes, right? I love motorcycles. We would hop on a dirt bike out the backyard, and we'd just go, we'd go, and there'd be cornfields, and, we'd go right around to that area. I lived for 10 years, came back to that area, and it had developed into almost an entire town. Have you guys ever experienced that? To where you looked on dirt, it was nothing. You come back a few years later and it's completely developed. Do you think if I would have had the foresight to buy land before it was developed, that I would have made some money? And what about you? That situation to where you could have bought that land before it was developed. Do you think you would have made some money? Of course you do. And major companies, investors, they've been accumulating and growing their money, multiplying it through this system for generations. Again, think about some of the wealthiest families that you know. They own real estate, they own or have participated in land banking. Or maybe if you don't know about this concept altogether, again, you might be on the wrong side of information. There's two sectors of information. I love how Mr. Brian Bean talks about this. And he talks about the public side of information, and then you've got the private side of information. What side of the information do you want to be on? You want to be on the private side. That's where wealthy people are using strategies that the public side is unaware of. When you talk about land ownership and these corporations, Inc. 500 companies, they use this model to multiply and grow their money in ridiculous ways. Think about, have you guys ever seen the show when it talks about McDonald's? Ray Kroc, it's the founder. And the lawyer sitting across from him, and he's like, look, you're not in the hamburger business. You're in the real estate business. When done correctly, not only do you grow wealth significantly, but you can multiply it in many ways as well. Here's where we're doing this. And you can see this is a 60-mile radius. So this is a 60-mile, this circle here is 60 miles. A third of this stretches in what? Water. So not a lot of population there. That means that 2/3 of this 60-mile radius comprises over 50% of California's total population. California is a large state, and over 50% of their entire population is within the 60-mile radius. Let's put this in perspective. So first off, they're expecting 2 million more people in the next decade. There's more people in this area than there are people living in Los Angeles. There's more people living in Los Angeles than there are in the state of Oregon, Nevada, Idaho, Arizona, Utah, Montana, Wyoming, and New Mexico combined. So you take all these states down there, you combine their population, there's more people living in this 60-mile radius than every one of those states combined. California is not a young state. It's been developed for a long time. So the question is, where will people live? If you think, are you guys aware of what the median housing price is in that area? It's around $750,000 to $800,000. Oh, excuse me. That's not affordable for young families, is it? That means that these families are getting priced out of this area naturally, which is good. That's where the opportunity is. So you can follow this blue line. This is naturally where the population's filling in. That's where the young families are going because they want to buy new just like anybody else. They don't want to purchase a home that's worth, on paper, $850,000, but the home was built in the 1900s and it might not even have an AC unit. So as we look at this area specifically, you can see all the major players that are currently here. You've got Walmart. There's a super center here. You've got Lowe's. You have the University of Antelope Valley, 24-hour fitness Target. So you can see there's businesses of all types, from groceries to universities to colleges to healthcare. They know one thing that we don't know. And you can see Kaiser Permanente is the slide kind of came in here a little bit unique, but the reason why I like to share Kaiser Permanente is because it's a massive facility that they took a ton of money and they ended up putting their roots in this area. So they invested a lot of time, they invested a lot of intention, and you can see that from an architect's perspective, doesn't this look amazing? You notice the waves in the glass? That's designed to harness natural energy to where they can use that to light up facilities, right? So the less expense that they have for lighting the facility, they've also got natural energy resources that will capture the wind that goes back and forth in that area, and they use that to power the facilities. So if less money is going to power the facility, they can be what? They can redirect those dollars to be more innovative. They've got the courthouse here that's on the bottom side. The city the city in this area, the local municipalities, they invested $230 million for this courthouse, and there's now 2 in this area. Walmart's, there's 5 super centers. Does Walmart do a pretty good job from a research and development perspective? Are they pretty good in their business model? There's thousands there's thousands of Walmarts across the country, and I have yet to see one Walmart close its doors. They know what they're doing. They know the client that they're serving. They know when they need to get there. They know the stores that they need to open. So if there's 5 in this area, they may know something that everybody else doesn't know. You want to ride on the coattails of people or companies that know exactly what they're doing and are investing millions of dollars to make sure that not only is there success, but let's just look at, Walmart as a country. They'd be ranked 19th in the world. And you can see there's many recognized brands here as well. We've also got this gentleman. Anybody know who this is? Of course, he needs no introduction. This is Mr. Warren Buffett. This gentleman is recognized as what? Knowing what he's talking about. He's one of the most astute investors in the world. He's done a very good job. And he's got a subset of rules, effectively disciplines, that he'll invest on. And if you guys read his biography, he's got 2 rules. His first rule is what? Don't lose money. His second rule is refer back to rule number 1. So what I like to point out here is that there's $2.5 billion of his own money that he invested in a solar project here. It's a B, right? 2.5 with a B, billion dollars. There's also, he also spent $230 million on an acquisition of a 10% stake in a company called BYD. That's Build Your Dreams. They're an electric bus manufacturing system that's out there. And he spent a lot of money investing time and energy here. So again, he makes his bets based on certainty. He doesn't just, invest in any company. He looks at them from a stability perspective, as a cash flow, perspective. So if he's putting in billions of dollars, he's got an idea of what's going to happen in this area. You also have the Kaiser High Desert Regional Healthcare Center. So this is a building it received the LEED Platinum certification. It's effectively a green energy bill. This area, they want to become the green energy capital of the world. Everything that they're building from home perspective is innovative in its design, and it's designed to naturally recapture energy that's already being used in that area and to be repurposed for savings. So when we look at the housing that's currently being built in this area, you've got the Antelope Valley Housing Project. Phase 1's already been completed, by the way. Do me a favor, guys. If you are a business owner, right? Well, many of you guys are, right? So you understand some being a business owner. If you had an idea, you looked across the street and you said, you know what? I'm going to build a village center here. I'm going to build a bunch of apartments. I'm going to go to the local municipality. I'm going to present my idea. It's going to get passed. And when you get the idea from to where it's in conception, right? You're thinking of the idea, you bring it to the marketplace, and that idea is sold within 72 hours. Would you probably do it again? Meaning that you're selling a bunch of your idea, a bunch of housing and apartment units. You're thinking that your turnaround is going to be 6 months and it was completed within 72 hours. Are you going to be incentivized to make a phase 2 of this or duplicate the process? Of course, that's what's happening with a lot of these housing projects. Is not only are they introducing, housing ideas, but again, we've got 2 million people they're coming into this area, and they need lodging. They need a place to live, and they want to live in places that are a little bit more up to standards, right? They're new projects. They're new homes that have all the amenities, all the good technology that's been really created in the last couple of years. And we're going to talk about them here in just a few slides here. This is something that also caught my eye when I was investing my own money into this. As again, I told you, I put my money where my mouth is. I'm one of those guys that if I share something with somebody and I believe that it's good for them, it's equally, or even more importantly, it's better for me. If you guys get the idea. So I'm somebody that when I share something, I'm doing and adopting it as well. And when I learned about the high-speed rail system, if for my travelers out there, if you guys have been to Europe, if you've been to Asia or anywhere outside of the US, you know that our transit system is really archaic. I mean, we're kind of in the Stone Age. It's a little bit of embarrassing, right? For being a country that's dominated its space for so long, our transportation system is behind the entire world. And what we love about high-speed rail systems or bullet trains is this system is designed to go from the top of Sacramento. You can see there's a stop in San Francisco as well. But what I like to point out here is you notice that blue line that connects to Palmdale? That's the area that we're talking about today. So you've got a line that connects to the City of Lights, Las Vegas. Pretty fun to go and, explore there. We were recently there for one of our major events with MWR Financial. Now LA, the Las Vegas folks, the City of Light, has a transit system that can go directly into California and vice versa. Imagine if you live in this area. You get off work, you go and do dinner, you hop on the speed rail system, and you're in Vegas for the night. When you're done, you hop on the high-speed rail system, and then you're back sleeping in your own bed, right? There's a lot of good things that are happening there. And what I love about this as well is the project officials have not only confirmed that this is being built, but Mr. Richard Branson, the billionaire, the guy that owns Virgin Galactic, Virgin Air, Virgin Mobile, he's recognized as, they call him Mr. Midas. That's kind of his tagline. Everything he touches turns to gold. So he's a brilliant businessman. He's got a personal interest in this. He's put his own money into the project, as well as you've got Brightline. They've already confirmed the approvals, as well as they've got a federal route that's going to have an 185-mile route. So this is something that was really, awesome. It kind of caught my attention as I'm thinking about, hey, I'm going to put my own money here. What are they doing that's innovative? They're connecting one state to the other to where you can get around the state very quickly. Northrop, they've got some major weapon systems that's out here, right? You've got 100 long-range bombers that are being built over the next decade. This supply, right? So these long-range bombers introduce 6,000 new aerospace jobs into the marketplace immediately. Have you guys ever watched the show Field of Dreams? They've got a saying in there that I love: if you build it, they will come. Are you guys, I think you guys are with me that if you're building a stealth bomber, those are highly specialized jobs. You can't just have somebody come off the street and be able to build a plane of this, just this magnificence. I mean, it's something that it takes a lot of specialized skills. So that means they're gonna have the compensation to match the skills. So if you've got highly compensated individuals that are being drawn to this area, naturally they're gonna want what? Homes. They're going to want to live directly, near these highly specialized opportunities. You've also got NASA, the Air Force, and the Navy. They're redesigning these major weapon systems, and they've got a lot of activity that's happening in this area. Amazon, they recently closed on a 1 million square foot facility out in this area as well. So they see the value. They know the people are coming here. They're going to have the jobs to supply the sheer force, the workforce that's coming in, that's moving into this area, which is really exciting. We've got the KB homes. These are the homes that I was alluding to earlier. They've got photovoltaic roofing panels. For you guys that may not be aware of that, what that is, I'm gonna explain that here. So what do we love about solar? I love the savings, but do you hate the aesthetics? I mean, I do. It's like you look at a home and it's not pretty. You can tell, you like the savings, but you don't necessarily like the aesthetics. The photovoltaic roofing panel removes, kind of the aesthetics, the ugliness about them. You get the benefits of having the solar and the energy savings because what? They look exactly like roofing panels. So you look at a home, the top of the roof, you wouldn't even know that those tiles are absorbent, right? They're solar panels. You've also got purple pipe water reclamation systems that will recapture that energy, right? And it saves every family roughly about $400 a month. That's a lot. Were you guys aware that most families, when they file for bankruptcy, it's over a $500 a month discrepancy? I mean, that almost solves it all together. They only need $100 more on a monthly basis to get where they need to be financially. Of course, that's assuming they're making good financial decisions. But as we look at some of the facts and evidence that we talked about today, we've got a study that was done by a third party to where they talk about 9,000 properties that were sold over a 17-year period. You guys remember 17 years ago? What happened? There was 2007, 8, and 9, which is notoriously recognized as one of the worst times to be a real estate investor and or to have money in the market. But even during this time frame, what's unique or interesting about this is that the average annual appreciation rate was 24% on these properties, and the average hold period was 3.7 years. Now, I'm not promising that you're going to get a 24% return on your purchase, but just go look at the testimonial page. We've had people get a 45% return in a single year on this. Now, past performance is not indicative of future results, but if something's happened in the past, could it happen in the future? So let's just remove, 24% off the table entirely. If you had a 12% return, if you got half of what it's done over that 17-year time frame, would you be pretty excited about 12%? The industry standard for investments altogether is right around 7 or 8%. So if you get 12% from this, you're way ahead of the curve. Land banking is right for whom? So for you guys that, again, this may be a new concept that's introduced. Who could this be right for? Maybe you're the person that's been looking at the stock market as of late, right? You're on refresh. You're looking at the S&P 500. It lost 2,000 points in a couple of days, and you're worried about where your 401k is going to end up at the end of the year or the next couple of years. Now, again, land is not immune to the laws of economics, but it tends to weather the storms more effectively. It's tangible. It's something to where it's not here one day, gone the next. Have you ever felt like that within like your stock purchases or your 401k? It's like, gosh, I know that I had $100,000 yesterday. Now I'm at 90. What happened? So this is a great way to balance your portfolio to where you've got tangibility as well as you've got money on the other side. So now you've got a true balance to your approach. And maybe you're a person that's recovering from a stock market loss. What I love about the research and development team, they buy parcels 20 to 40% below current markets. So they've got strategies, they've got relationships, they know how to negotiate, and they bring it to the market 20 to 40% below what's currently being sold in that area, which means you've got what? You've got room for error. If the market does go in a negative direction, real estate, you've got a 20% or a 40% buffer. And then when the year it turns around, again, you're in a winning position. So it could be for somebody that's needing peace of mind about retirement. Maybe you don't understand your 401k. Not very many people do. You ever read a prospectus on a mutual fund? It's terrifying. I'll tell you what. I mean, if you want to have a story that'll put you to sleep, right? A good night story. Feel free to read one of those. But, this is what, maybe you've got a 401k, an IRA, money that's sitting in a savings account. All you need is as little as $40,000 to participate in land banking altogether. How can you land bank too? There's many different accounts here. You can see cash, a SEP IRA. Maybe you've got a simple IRA. You can fund the purchase through trusts. You've got retirement accounts, 401ks. We talked about IRAs. You can use 1031 exchanges as well. That's been, something that's really been helpful for a lot of people that are offloading real estate. Real estate, most people would agree, is close to an all-time high. When do you make money in it? How do you make money in anything? You buy low and you sell high. So if you're holding on to that piece of real estate, or maybe you just liquidated and you're looking for a way to 1031, meaning taking your taxable liability and purchasing something that you understand and helping remove some of that taxable liability, this could be a great option for you guys, for that individual as well. So the idea here is to make sure that you never say this. And I know that we've all been victim of it. I've been personally, I've said this many times in my life as well. If I had known then what I know now, life would be different today. Right? If I would have known about land banking 10 years ago, how much different would my life be financially today? If I would have known to buy that land before the development came in as a kid, right? Before that development came in on that dirt, that cornfield that we used to play in, life would be so much different. That's what's in front of you today. So if you've ever questioned, well, is land banking right for me? Give us a call. Schedule a consultation. We'll ask you some questions. I'll tell you that roughly about 10 to 15% of all people that call in are typically qualified, and I'll say only about 10% of them does it meet, does it really run in line with what their goals are long term. So you gotta give us a phone call so that we can help you figure out the madness and to determine whether it's going to work for you. Many people, they're saving money and they have no idea how it's working for them or hurting them. So we want to help you find that out. What's the next 10 years going to be like for you? Are you going to be somebody that takes advantage of this, of land banking, where you made the decision and 10 years from now, you're thanking yourself for making the decision? One thing that I didn't talk about that I left out on accident is that the Olympics are coming to this area in 2028. What's amazing about the Olympics? I mean, think about it. You've got countries and people that have been working their entire lives at a specialized skill, and they are the best of the best in that country. So you've got US, right? So we've got a pretty good population. You've got people that'll go to the Olympics, are the best of the best. You've got Asian continents, you've got Russia, right? You've got people that will meet and they'll, compete against each other to see what country really is the best of the best. That's coming to this area. What happens when the Olympics comes directly to an area? Well, the area gets a facelift because you're now on the eyeballs of the world, right? You're being televised to everywhere around the world. So naturally, they want the area to be good. They want it to look good. When you're on vacation at an area that is nice and well put together, you tend to spend a little bit more money than you would have otherwise. I know I do. You go to an all-inclusive, you're having a great time. You want to make sure that you're carrying that feeling throughout the entire vacation. Right? People are willing to spend in areas that look good, that have nice, facelifts. That's what's happening in this area. So guys, dreams don't work unless you do. Knowledge does not equal understanding. If knowledge equaled understanding, I think we could all just read books about how to ride a bike. We'd hop on a bike and just be able to take off, right? But as a kid, you've got to learn through your body. It's like, oh, I got to lean left, or I got to, stand up tall to where, as I'm pushing forward with momentum, that the bike goes straight. So knowledge does not equal understanding. Understanding is the application of knowledge. You go out there, you share information. Think of all the people out there that have their money in a 401k. They don't know that you can use money inside of a 401k to own real estate, to own a tangible asset. It's on us to go out there and give them the message. So we got roughly about 2 minutes. I appreciate you. As you can see, I've been trying to hold this camera the best that I could. I didn't do a great job today, but I do appreciate your time and attention. And I want you guys to know that you have shared something with me that you can't get back, right? And that's time. You were generous with your time today. I trust that we delivered on the information. If you're not a part of the membership, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Do you want to be on the public side of information for the rest of your life, or do you want to get into the private sector of information? That's exactly what we're talking about. I appreciate your time and attention. And more importantly, I appreciate you guys kind of going through this journey of, adjustments today. And we can't wait to talk to you in a couple of weeks. Take care.
Man, Cord, listen, once again, you have positioned us with the understanding of the importance of this wealth club membership, being able to buy land and the path of growth. And when you're around in your neighborhoods and you're seeing land being torn down, you're saying to yourself, I wish that I would have been an investor in that land. This is your shot. This is a shot that you have to be an opportunity to grab hold of a parcel or two and start your legacy. With that being said, guys, we want to thank you so much for your time and attention to this evening. Be sure to join us next Thursday on the same platform, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 Central Standard Time for the Make Wealth Real Financial University. Have a fantastic evening. Thank you.